Hello everyone, Fanta here, you're watching FANTAVISION, and today I want to do something a little bit different. I don't really want to talk about news or retail or anything like that. Instead, I just want to have a discussion with you guys about kind of YouTube as a whole, and whether or not the saying is true that negative things are the only thing that is pushed in social media. And unfortunately, I have to admit that YouTube it's a form of social media. It just is. It really is. I mean, I like to say, oh, I don't really use social media. All I use is Twitter. But YouTube is a form of social media in some aspects. I mean, there's ways to talk to other people. People are posting their own content. It's very much a social media platform that isn't necessarily about making friends and just staring at other people's lives. I mean, I guess you get that in the blog vlog area on YouTube, and I guess that's pretty much full social media. You're just watching people get paid to make stories on Facebook, essentially. But most of YouTube is varying ranges of different quality and types of content. And it seems like for a lot of people that negative content is the only thing that's pushed. It's been said that negative content is the thing that is really driven by the algorithm on Twitter, Facebook, well, not really Instagram, those are just pictures, but the main social media things that aren't just picture-based, negativity seems to spread more, and that's because of engagement, and engagement is what drives a video or anything like that. That's why I and every single other person on this platform ask, please like the video, because whether you like or dislike the video, that is a type of engagement. Now, comments have been back and forth depending on whether or not that is actual engagement and that actually drives more traffic to a video and is promoted more, but likes are guaranteed. Same with likes on Twitter. It's going to continue it into that algorithm, show it to more people, and get more likes. It's just how it works. So, what exactly is the type of content that brings that to the table? Is it really just negative content? Because a lot of people seem to be looking into their analytics and seeing this as a thing that is the only way to get further into YouTube. And that's a shame because, the world is negative enough, and if negativity is the only thing that is popular, it's just going to continue to spread and, get worse. And I know it sounds pretty rich coming from me, who a lot of people think I just make negative content. The thing is I make a whole plethora of content. It's just the only ones that get views are the ones that they're just me complaining about retail, and sometimes it's me talking about some sort of gaming controversy that takes off because it's a negative thing and it's interesting to hear about. Now, other channels have seen this as well. I know Jim Sterling has talked about this, and it's not the reason I made this video, but it's the reason that I finally made it. I mean, I had the idea for a very long time because it's been something that has kind of floated around in the ether, that is the algorithm only pushing negative content. Even Joe Rogan talked about how the algorithm might only be pushing negative content. But the truth of the matter is the algorithm pushes whatever you watch. Now, that's not necessarily true for the trending tab or what it will push on your home screen if you are not signed in, because if you're not signed in, good God, YouTube is a mess. YouTube pushes the worst people on YouTube, in my opinion, the worst creators, the people that just make superficial, awful content where they just have the fakest vlogs on the planet or the fakest storytime videos, or they're just out spending gratuitous amounts of money, or it's a late night talk show, or something else that you could find on cable, like The Ellen Show. I mean, that's not why most people come to YouTube. Yeah, they get a lot of views because those videos are shared on Facebook and a lot of other platforms by an older generation, I'm sure. I don't think many people my age are watching Ellen. I don't think that's my age demographic. I don't know. I'm not that old yet. But I wish it was more positive. But at the same time, you can't force positivity, and if most of the world is negative at the time, you can kind of see why a lot of that content is being pushed, because that is what the most of the content is negative. Now, you could argue that there are some things that are doing great, and they are completely positive, they're wonderful. I mean, Scott the Woz, he's pretty positive from what I've seen. JonTron isn't really negative. There's quite a few that land, like Happy Console Gamer, a lot of these different people that land in the camp of pretty much positive, but they have kind of a variance in their content when it comes to positivity or not. It just seems like they've hit the point where they can kind of make whatever they want. You could also, a lot of people are going to argue, the Some Good News thing just exploded, but that did not explode because it is positive content and YouTube went, oh, this is great because it's positive. It got huge because it's John Krasinski and he's a famous actor and he got all of his famous actor friends on it. And it got picked up by literally every single website on the planet. And because you have all these things linking to it, that's another thing that drives SEO and engagement and adds to the algorithm. But the real question still, I will revert to, is the myth of negative content doing better true or false? And I think it's pretty true. I think that is definitely, like I said, a fact that most negative-based content is going to do better than positive. Just because, like I said, it drives more engagement, and because you are viewing that negative content, it's going to suggest more, and you're going to watch more. And as you keep engaging with more and more of that same content, that's what it's going to keep feeding you. It's really interesting. I mean, I've seen my home feed completely just change if I go down a rabbit hole. Like, I just went on a video game donkey rabbit hole, and now I'm looking at Jackbox Shark Tank being promoted. I'm seeing a shitload of Warhammer 40k stuff because I've been listening to that kind of stuff like it's a podcast. Besides the news crap that it kind of forces upon every single person's feed, if you are an active YouTube user, most of the time that suggestion home recommendation area is pretty accurate to your taste. So if you find that most of that content is negative, it's because that is what you are viewing. It's not the algorithm's fault that is the more popular content. That's just what happens to be what we as humans seem to enjoy. Now, is this really a big issue? It depends, because I definitely see a negative trend in just kind of interaction with other people online. Now, 99% of my comments are honestly not that bad, but there's a reason that the YouTube comment section and Twitter and all of these different social media sites are known for their negativity, because it seems to be spreading more online. And it's so easy for people to treat each other just terribly because of the anonymity of it. And for some, I don't understand this. I've had like one or two people in my life, face to face, actually confront me when I don't really know them. I've had probably two people in my entire life come up to me in an aggressive way, even though they don't know me. I mean, in the car, that's different, because I would argue that the anonymity is still there. There's still a disconnect. I feel like when you're in traffic, you're prone to get a lot angrier at the people in front of you. You don't feel like you're surrounded by people. You feel like you're surrounded by cars. It's not there's a lot of people in front of you. There's a lot of traffic in front of you. There's a lot of different things that break down the fact that you are surrounded by other people also in their cars trying to get to their destination. There's a lot of dehumanizing aspects. As there are more dehumanizing aspects between the person and the other person, I feel like for some reason people are more inclined to act negatively to their fellow human beings. And it's a weird phenomenon, and I've definitely caught myself in the past doing this a lot. I've kind of matured a little bit more in that aspect. I'm not just shitting on people online for no reason. I don't know. It seems like a thing that either comes with maturity or it comes about from lack of self-reflection. And I feel like a lot of people don't self-reflect. And I don't think most of you watching this, I mean, if you're watching this video, I sincerely doubt you're one of these people. But if you are, take a moment to self-reflect and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it because you're unhappy somewhere else in life, which I feel like a lot of other people are? I believe Joe Rogan talked about this as well. He talked about, as they were discussing this whole negativity online thing, there are a lot of people that just hate their lives. And instead of looking to improve their lives, they instead take out their anger and all of their different frustrations on a random person that is a creator or people on Twitter or just any anonymous person that they feel like they can target. Any public person they feel like they can target. I don't know. It's this interesting thing that you really have to deal with on a constant basis as a content creator or somebody that is just known by more than a couple hundred people. During the transfer of hosts of Game Grumps, Aaron asked, I don't know who's in Game Grumps. Is it Dan? Is that the new guy? I don't know. I've watched like a couple episodes, but that's not the point. The point is, he asked the new host, are you ready for a lot of people to not like you? Are you ready for a giant chunk of the internet to hate you and send you hate mail? And he's like, oh, you mean how I've been receiving for years as a content creator already? And I just thought about that. I was like, God, it's sad that that is true and that is the norm. It really, I mean, it makes you think for a second. In person, most people, I will argue, are good. But outside of that, once you remove the person-to-person contact, once you dehumanize these people, that's when it gets bad. I mean, that's what they do in war. They dehumanize the enemy so that the soldiers can fight, and so that whatever country that you're fighting against is no longer a population of people like you. They are something else. And that's kind of what happens online when you're working in a retail environment and when you're driving a car. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you'd like me to make more videos like this, or if you've got even just, like I said, any thoughts about this subject that I decided to randomly cover and I've been thinking about for a very long time. I just decided to make it and put it up today. So, hope you guys all have a great week, because I know it's Monday morning. Like the video if you guys liked it. Subscribe for more content. Stay after to hear more about whiskey. And as always, have a fantastic day. See you guys. This is a really, really good whiskey. I was hesitant the first time I saw it, and I didn't buy it. And then I looked it up later, heard a lot of people talking about it. Actually didn't hit the mic in the main part of the video, but of course I hit it at some point. This actually won Whiskey of the Year, I think, in 2018, and I can see why. It's really good. Not easy to find in most places. Nika whiskey from the barrel. It's 51.4% alcohol. It's from Japan. It is a blended whiskey, Japanese whiskey, and it is delicious. Oh man, it's really strong vanilla and a little undertone of peat. And I think that's perfect. If you're into whiskey already, I recommend this. Especially if you have not tried like a peaty whiskey yet. This is a good entrance way. And peat, in case you're wondering, is the sod or the soil that is dug up, usually in Scotland, and it's on the island of Islay off the coast of Scotland, and it's been full of sea brine, and I'm sure just a bunch of things have, decayed in it, and that's what just creates this rich soil, and they burn it, and the smoke goes over all the malted barley, and it just takes in all of these different strange flavors. Talisker's got a very briny, salty taste to it with that peat. And then Lagavulin got this rich, hearty, really smoky peat. Same with Lefroy. Lefroy's a very smoky, rich. It kind of tastes like a barbecue. I don't know if you know what burnt ends are. I guess pulled pork, but like cooked a little bit longer, so all that barbecue caramelizes on the meat. But there's only a tiny bit of barbecue sauce if you've ever had meat like that. But the meat itself is sweet, and it's just so good. That's what Lefroy tastes like, to me at least. Some people, you know, they've compared it to a hospital fire. But I digress. This whiskey has a tiny bit of smoke underneath all of this vanilla and honey. And it's really good. It's a really good whiskey. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching this far, and I really do hope you enjoyed this different type of video style. I've done videos like this in the past, but it's been a while, and I hope to do more of these because I enjoy making them, and I hope you enjoy watching them.